In the early 5th century, the world's greatest empire was falling apart. Rome, the eternal city, had been breached, plundered, and humiliated. Panic spread, and for many, the blame fell squarely on a rising faith that refused to worship Rome's ancient gods. In response, one man wrote a book so vast, so ambitious, that it would reshape Western thought for more than 1,000 years. That book was The City of God, and its author was Augustine of Hippo. In its pages, Augustine argues that all of human history, every war, every empire, every triumph and tragedy, is the unfolding conflict between two cities, one built on the love of self, the other built on the love of God. When Rome fell in 410 AD, the shock was seismic. Pagan writers accused Christians of abandoning the gods who had protected the empire for centuries. Augustine responded with calm defiance. He wrote, "Blame not the Christian religion for your miseries. They who think that they can escape miseries by the worship of gods make themselves more miserable." For Augustine, Rome's collapse was not the failure of Christianity, but the failure of human pride. Nations rise and fall, but the destiny of the human soul is far greater than any empire. Augustine's central argument is one of the most profound theological visions ever conceived: the division of humanity into two cities. He wrote, "Two loves have made two cities, the love of self, even to the contempt of God, the love of God, even to the contempt of self." The city of man is built on self-love, a love that seeks domination, power, and earthly glory. It is Babylon, it is Rome, it is every culture that trusts in its own greatness. The city of God is built on the love of God. Its citizens seek humility, righteousness, and eternal hope. Yet Augustine stresses that the two cities are intermixed in this world. They grow together like wheat and tares until the final separation at the end of the age. One of the most remarkable aspects of the City of God is Augustine's engagement with classical philosophy. Instead of dismissing pagan thinkers, he analyzes them with deep respect. He praises Plato's longing for the divine, yet says that philosophy alone cannot save. In the book, he wrote, "The Platonists saw with the eye of the mind the land of peace, but they lacked the way to it." For Augustine, the way is Christ, not human intellect or political order. He also challenges Rome's idea of virtue, exposing how even Rome's heroism was corrupted by pride and the desire for glory. In the book, he wrote, "Remove justice, and what are kingdoms but great robberies?" With this bold statement, Augustine does nothing less than redefine the meaning of a just society. To Augustine, history is not random. It is a story with direction, a pilgrimage of the city of God through time. In the book, he wrote, "The city of God advances through the ages as a stranger and pilgrim in the world. Empires rise and fall, but the purposes of God are always moving toward a final cosmic end." In a world where Rome seemed invincible, Augustine warned that earthly power is fragile, dust and ashes before eternity. His vision anticipates the fall of every earthly nation, not just Rome, all of them. Augustine does not shy away from the problem of evil. He argues that suffering is not always a punishment, nor is prosperity a sign of divine favor. In the book, he wrote, "The same fire makes gold glow and chaff smoke. Trials purify the righteous and expose the wicked. Prosperity can harden the soul, while suffering can awaken it." In a time when many assumed Rome's success meant divine approval, Augustine dismantles that illusion. The City of God is not just a philosophical text, it is a work of Christian cosmology. Augustine devotes entire books to the nature of angels, demons, and spiritual warfare. He argues that the city begins not with human society, but with the fall of the angels. In the book, he wrote, "There is a heavenly city and a rebellious city of angels who forsook God. The war between the two cities is older than humanity itself." In the final books, Augustine turns to the end of the age, the ultimate fate of the two cities. The city of man ends in judgment. The city of God ends in eternal life. In the book, he wrote, "Then the two cities shall receive their final destinies, one in everlasting punishment, the other in everlasting bliss." For Augustine, the destiny of the soul is more important than the fate of any nation. Rome may fall, but the city of God will stand forever. Augustine ends his masterpiece with a vision of eternal joy, one of the most beautiful passages in Christian literature. In the book, he wrote, There we shall rest and see and love and praise." For the weary citizens of a collapsing empire, these words offered hope beyond the ruins. For us today, they still do. The City of God is not a simple book. It is dense, it is challenging, it demands patience, but for those who enter its pages, Augustine offers nothing less than a new way to see history, politics, evil, and human destiny. It is a book written during the fall of a world, and written for those living through the fall of their own. In an age of instability, Augustine reminds us our citizenship is not in the city that perishes, but in the city of God.